think for me, the idea of luxury is really to give a service. For a family business like Patek Philippe, we believe that our watches should last forever. I have seen too many sad stories about watches who have been repairing outside the Patek Philippe authorized retailers network. This is a high-level watches. The parts were inside just for a simple movement. We're already talking about 150 parts minimum. Those parts are very difficult. It took us minimum 5 years, for example, just to make a simple movement at Patek. This is why we really insist that the customer is going back to an official Patek Philippe retailer, because he will take care about the watch the way we think it's the best for the watch. It's about training, it's about years of experience. The best watchmaker for the after-sales service, he is able to see the whole history of the watches. That means he is able to fix a watch who is a minute repeater of today, but he is also able to fix a watch who is a minute repeater from the beginning. For the old watches, after 30 years, some parts we have to redo them. They don't exist anymore. We have the tools, we have the knowledge, we have the people, and they can restart from scratch any wheel. And this is also the beauty of the watchmaker here. This is not something that you will learn in the books. You need to be part of the Patek Philippe family to be able to handle our watches. This is a know-how that we have since 1839. If you want to keep your watch, keep it accurate, keep it beautiful, we are asking to our customer to come back maybe every 5 years to clean their watches so I can re-oil them and they can be ready for another 5 years.
When a watch arrives for service or repair at Patek Philippe, it is put through a process lasting between 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the model and whether it is from the contemporary collection. This is what happens. First, every timepiece is registered and its service history is checked against the Patek Philippe International Customer Archive and, if required, the Historical Archive. In order to keep a record of the condition the watch arrived in, it is taken to be photographed. It then goes to the workshop to be assessed by a watchmaker. This is an important stage as it defines the process of the service or repair. The watchmaker removes the movement from the case and carries out a diagnostic test to check its accuracy. The watch case is then taken to the case and bracelet specialists, where an aesthetic assessment is made on its condition. The results are then conveyed to the watch's owner, along with an estimate for the service required. If the owner agrees, the servicing process begins. The case is prepared for polishing. First, the glass is removed. It is then put through a 45-minute cleaning cycle. In the workshop, the watchmaker begins the 1.5-hour-long process of dismantling the watch's movement. Every component is assessed to determine its condition. Depending on the timepiece, a watch movement from the contemporary collection will contain between 100 and 350 individual parts. Once dismantled, the parts are taken to be cleaned, removing any traces of old lubricants. The next step for the case is polishing. This optional process consists of several stages. How many depends on the requirement and the work requested by the owner. Only the most experienced jewelers can operate these machines, as it requires great skill to ensure as little mass as possible is taken off the case. After each polishing stage, the case is again taken to be cleaned. In the workshop, the watchmaker begins to reassemble the movement. For a simple movement, this takes between 5 to 8 hours, and up to 20 hours for a grand complication. Each component must be replaced in a precise order. For this particular annual calendar movement, there are over 275 different mounting procedures. Every component is carefully inspected again before it is put back in. Worn out or used components are replaced with new ones. During reassembly of a mechanical movement, there are typically 50 to 100 oiling points. These must all be completed correctly, or the watch may be damaged or stop. In the case fitting department, the case is given new gaskets. The glass is fitted. The case is tested for water resistance. Finally, it is taken for another aesthetic assessment. When approved, it is returned to the workshop, where the reassembled movement is put back inside. This is done in a dust-free, clean environment, as it is essential no dust is trapped inside the closed case. With the movement recased and re-oiled, the watch is again tested for accuracy and must adhere to set tolerance levels. The final step in the service process is quality control. The watch will remain here for a period of 14 days, during which it is put through a series of tests to verify the functional controls, self-winding speed, power reserve, accuracy, and water resistance. When the controller is satisfied it meets the Patek Phillipe standards of quality, the strap and buckle are reattached, and the watch is sealed and vacuum packed, ready to be returned to its owner.